Suppose anyone could tell us more about the childhood and early life and appearance of Christ. How glad we should be to know it. Now it is impossible to find out much, but in the case of the Bab it is possible, and I feel that now that it is possible, it may be neglected, and someday, when many men long to know more, it will be impossible. So let us earn the thanks of posterity and provide against that day now.
"2019 marks the 200th anniversary of the birth of the Bab.
The founder of a new religious movement in his native Persia, his dramatic life, ministry and death captured the imaginations not only of his countrymen, but of many European observers and admirers, who sought to capture the spirit of his movement in prose, poetry and drama. Though the fame of his movement reached Europe, and though many Europeans and other Westerners would eventually embrace his cause,
In his own lifetime, only one Westerner is known to have met him, preserving for posterity an unbiased
first-hand account of the young man who claimed to be the gate unto the knowledge of God. Dr. William Cormick was born in 1819, the same year as the Bab. The son of Dr. John Cormick of County Kilkenny, Ireland, William spent most of his youth in Persia, his father having served as a physician to the royal family. William himself, after completing his medical training in London, came into the service of the future king, whom he accompanied in 1857 to the city of Tabriz, where William would become a direct witness to the tumult of those days, and would come face to face with the one who stood as the focal point of these momentous events. By the summer of 1848, the Babi movement had spread all across Persia, provoking the violent retribution of the government and ecclesiastical authorities, as thousands and thousands declared their belief in the new revelation. The Bab was imprisoned and repeatedly exiled in increasingly remote and harsh conditions, before finally being brought to trial in Tabriz. In that meeting, in the presence of the future king, the Bab emphatically announced his claim and mission, leaving those gathered there in a state of bewilderment. It was in the course of these proceedings that Dr. Cormick was called on to interview the prisoner, in Dr. Cormick's words, to see whether he was of sane mind or merely a madman, to decide the question whether to put him to death or not. Dr. Cormick's report recommended that the Bab's life be spared. The Bab was taken back into captivity, where he was beaten and struck on the face, a blow which produced a great wound and swelling. On being asked whether he wished a doctor to attend his wound, the Bab specifically asked for Dr. Cormick, who accordingly treated him for a few days. He described the Bab as a very mild and delicate-looking man, with a melodious, soft voice which struck me much. In fact, his whole look and deportment went far to dispose one in his favour. He goes on to write that the characteristic fanaticism of Persia in those days does not exist in his religion, nor is there that restraint of females that now exists.
The story of the Bab has captured the imagination of millions of people around the globe.
Dr. Cormick's reflections on meeting him provide a unique window into his life and forge an immortal link between Ireland and the earliest history of the Bahá'í faith.